Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and let's do a quick review of the Civivi Bulltusk today. This one is another one of the knives that's on loan to me from Mr. Eddie, and really appreciate him giving me the opportunity to take a look at a lot of different knives that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to review, to disassemble and clean and carry and then give my thoughts on the knife. So I really do appreciate that. All right, this is a model that there's some cheaper version of it that's about $60. I think there's several different variants. This one with the Damascus blade is right around $100 on Amazon from what I saw just a few minutes ago. So let's talk about this knife. You can tell that it's got a Damascus or Damasteel blade, Ultim scales, but they are milled out and grooved, so they look very nice. Allows you to kind of see the internals of the knife. So let's do some measurements and then some size comparisons, and then I'll tell you what I like and dislike about this particular knife. All right, so I'm looking at about a little over 3.5 inches on the blade, right at 8 inches, just a little bit over on the overall length. Let's get the handy dandy scale and do a quick measurement of this knife. Turn it on, tear it out. So you're looking at about 4.25 ounces. So not terribly bad for a good sized knife. All right, let's do some size comparisons. Let's start out with the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. We'll also show the CJRB Feldspar. All right, let's look next at the QSP Penguin. And the CJRB Pyrite, the Pyrite Alt. Should be specific, I suppose. All right, let's do the Miguel Morial and the Demco Shark Cub. All right. Let's do the Eutectic EFD, that's the Everyday Field Duty, and the Eutectic Binary. The Binary, I know I had been saying that I thought they were supposed to be out in August. Got clarification from Leon Ma earlier today that I think he should be getting those around mid-September. So hopefully sometime in September. This is the American Blade Works Model 1. And this is the North Arm Skaha. Alright, and then last, certainly not least, we have the Microtech MSI and the Kaiser Cyberblade. And as you can tell, the Bulltusk is definitely longer than the Cyberblade. All right, let's look at some pocket profiles here. This one's going to take up a decent amount of pocket space. I'll pull out the Spyderco Yojimbo, and you can tell that they take up a similar amount of space in pocket. So just to kind of show you how that one's going to be in pocket. There it is against the Microtech MSI. American Blade Works Model 1 we'll do the feldspar. And the Miguron Morial. Okay, so that gives you kind of a picture of how it would fit in pocket. Thickness on it's not too much. It's actually kind of a thin knife. That's the Morial, and you can tell it's thinner than the Morial. Same would go for the feldspar, the American Blade Works Model 1. So let's do the QSP Penguin. Tell it's just a smidge thinner than the Penguin. So it's not a very thick knife. Anything else I wanted to talk about? All right, so it does have what I assume could be a lanyard pin there. I guess you could wrap a lanyard around that pin there and utilize that. It is a deep carry clip, which is good, and if you'll notice, the screws are countersunk and they're flathead, so they wouldn't tend to grab pocket. This is a deep carry clip, so it means that almost none of the knife would show when in pocket. It is reversible, so you have the place on the other side for the folks that would like to carry or move the clip to the other side. Multiple methods of opening. You can use the thumb hole. You can use reverse flick. You've got your flipper tab, all of which work very well. In hand, it's not too bad, but it's not the most comfortable either. In my opinion, you can choke up here, but just keep in mind that blade is there, the edge of the blade, and you don't want to get onto that. But I have a decent grip on the knife without it being without having to utilize this choil. So it fits fairly well in hand. One thing that I wish it did have would be better access to the lock bar. I am able to manipulate it. It's not terrible, but I wish there were something wish it was done a little bit differently. That would be one of the complaints that I would have. As far as the blade itself, it's plenty sharp. I don't know if I can do the tiny curly cues like I did with the knife the other day, but it works just fine as far as that goes. There is some jimping there on the flipper tab, as well as some jimping there on the top of the blade for extra security. You can use this in multiple different ways. I do like this little swoop here. Seems to lend well for the finger if I were doing some finer work with the knife itself. All right, anything else? Blade steel and finish. It's the Damascus type of steel. Detent's good. It's not. It has a crisp detent, in my opinion. No problems there at all. Lock up. You can tell it's right about there. No blade play up and down, side to side. The scale material is Ultem. I don't have a problem with Ultem, but there are folks that tend not to care for it. I've not had a problem with it. I've had several knives and do have several knives that have Ultem. In fact, the American Blade Works Model 1, I've got a set of Ultim scales for that one, because that's how it came. Ended up getting micarta, but that's just because I like the black micarta and how that it looks. But overall, not a bad knife. That being said, I don't think this would be one that I would necessarily recommend to others. It is fairly large. It does take up a good amount of room in pocket, though it's not terrible. And I do want to start talking about something, about, if you have a knife in your pocket and you want to reach around that knife to get something else. Usually in my right front pocket, I've got using my earbuds and a handkerchief or something like that. If I want to reach in for that, then I don't want it tearing my hand up because it's got sharp edges on it. This one's okay. It doesn't tend to do that, and I want to try to start having that as one of the things that I mentioned, because I have had knives in the past that make it not very comfortable to reach in your pocket. Alright, if you stuck with me this long, I do appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, leave a comment. I really appreciate the comments, and I try to get back to you. I'm still trying to get caught up from a few weeks ago, but I am making some headway. Again, really appreciate that. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks.